Good, happy Friday morning, September 17, 2021. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Friday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Friday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, school administrators in New Hampshire frustrated with pushback as they deal with COVID-19 clusters. School board meetings stalled with mask debates. Many New Hampshire school district officials are expressing frustration as new data showed 28% of new cases on Thursday were in children. On Thursday, there were 23 COVID-19 clusters in schools across the state. Administrators are pointing to differences between this year and last that are making it more difficult to keep everyone safe. One of the key frustrations is the opposition to policies administrators want to try to stop the spread. They said it is difficult to get to other topics at school board meetings because they are taken up with the debate over masks. After 42 COVID-19 cases were identified in 12 days at SAU, 4 Newfound School Board voted to mandate masks in its 6 schools. They received pushback from individuals at the meeting. Our children are being used as pawns for a political pandemic, said one attendee. SAU 48 superintendent said they have been hearing similar feedback from parents, but not so much from children. They're suffocating the kids. They're legally restraints and all these things. They've heard all these stories. But when you talk to school nurses and teachers and principals, they say that's not what we're hearing from our kids. SAU 48 involves 8 towns and 9 school boards. Each maintain varied policies. Now there is a cluster in Wentworth with 13 active cases in an elementary school with fewer than 70 students. We follow the toolkit which they do. Right now, for the Department of Health, it's strongly recommended that they're masked inside, but it's a parent's choice. The school board for SAU 48 is scheduled to meet on Monday night. Shifting to more relaxed mitigation strategies definitely has an impact, she said. It is what it is. Close contacts don't have to quarantine in the building, just family household contacts. That's a big difference too. Administrators pointed out there is no remote fallback plan, so students quarantining must catch up on 10 days of missed work. Another difference: if enough teachers are out, a school would have to close. Class time would then be made up like snow days. And there you go on that report. AGs in 24 states, including New Hampshire, signed a letter threatening to sue Biden administration over vaccine mandate. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
And more time working our land.
Tonight, New Hampshire is one of 24 states threatening to sue the Biden administration over the new vaccination mandate. A letter to the president signed by Attorney General John Formella and the AGs of 23 other states says, in part, the vaccines have helped protect millions of Americans, and there are surely others who could benefit from obtaining this treatment. But it adds you have offered the American people flimsy legal arguments, contradictory statements, and threatening directives. It is almost as if the goal is to sow division and distrust rather than promote unity and the public's health. A new rule the president announced last week forces businesses with more than 100 workers to require vaccinations or regular testing.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Second, Manchester High School suspends football program after players test positive for COVID-19. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
So I think you have to cut down on the fabric cost.
That's gonna say.
The Memorial High School football team will stay off the field for 10 days after members of the team tested positive. Last week, the same decision was made to suspend practice and games for Manchester Central High School. We caught up with Central head coach Ryan Ray with his family to talk about his football family.
We certainly don't want to get anyone sick. We don't want to put anyone in a bad situation. So from our players' perspective, yeah, they're really disappointed that they're not going to get to play in a game, and we've already missed a couple to this point. So as long as everybody's staying healthy and happy, that's the most important thing.
New cases are also popping up in classrooms across the state. For 9 reporting days in a row, more than 20% of positive cases are in children under 18. Today, reaching 28% of all new positive cases, with nearly 24 clusters reported in New Hampshire schools. The newfound school board voted to mandate masks in 6 schools after recording 42 COVID cases in 12 days. And an elementary school in Wentworth reports 13 active cases. The superintendent says masks are recommended, but not required.
The numbers started to creep up, and some of the school boards decided to go with mask mandates, and some did not. So that has been obviously, a little disjointed in what each school is doing, because it is up to local school boards at this point.
And as of tonight, only Memorial and Central High Schools in Manchester have suspended football. They did not announce how many team members tested positive for COVID. There were originally 20 games scheduled for this week. 18 still play. Live in the newsroom tonight, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Employee dies after tractor-trailer accident at Walmart distribution facility in Raymond. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors out of...
Work was halted and traffic stopped for hours outside of this Walmart distribution facility on Freetown Road in Raymond after an employee was hit by a tractor trailer on the job Thursday morning. Raymond police say it happened shortly before 10 when 54-year-old James Tomlinson was inspecting a trailer. That's when another truck behind him lunged forward and pinned Tomlinson between the two vehicles. EMTs from the Raymond Fire Department performed CPR on Tomlinson, who was pronounced dead a short time later. Walmart issuing this statement to WMUR that reads, quote, "We are heartbroken over the loss of our associate James. We're focused on supporting his family and our associates during this difficult time and are assisting authorities in their investigation however we can." Raymond police are also familiar with the victim. They tell us Tomlinson was a former Raymond police officer from 1999 to 2012. Before that, he worked as an officer in Deerfield. At this time, police say no foul play is suspected and the driver of the big rig is not facing charges. And Raymond police tell us that their hearts are with the Tomlinson family tonight. They describe James as a loyal officer who served the town for 13 years. Live in Raymond tonight, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Route 102 near Parmenter Road in Londonderry shut down after a head-on crash. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9. Sorry about that. We do not have a video for you on that. Sorry. 2 people injured according to police. A head-on crash in Londonderry has closed Route 102 near Paramount Road. Police said 2 cars were involved and traffic is being diverted. 2 people were injured according to police. The exact of those injuries was not announced by officials, but 1 person was taken to the hospital. The road is expected to be shut down for a couple more hours. COVID-19 cases rise above 4,000 in New Hampshire for the first time since February. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Are you looking for a rewarding career with purpose? Join our dynamic team that's dedicated to making a difference. Bring your talent to Riverbend Community Mental Health. Specialized behavioral health by providers who truly care.
Active infections of COVID-19 rising once again tonight, even as New Hampshire's hospitalizations fall. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tom Griffith.
And I'm Jean Mackin. Current cases are up by nearly 300, pushing us over 4,000 for the first time since February 5th. Today, the state announced 561 new cases for today and an additional 53 new cases from yesterday. Current hospitalizations are down slightly to 126, and there are no new deaths reported today.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Thank you for joining us and watching this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast. Goodbye, everyone.